Today, I wanted to get on to discuss my favorite subject, which is how to start a face painting business. When I first started face painting, what I struggled with is to know what steps to do if you're not a full on professional yet. So let's dive in. More on the business side of face painting, some things you'll need to consider is what you would like your business name to be. What should people call you? What type of business you want to move forward with, an LLC, a sole proprietorship. You should talk to a tax professional before deciding what route will be best for you. What you would like to use for a logo. What do you want to be the face of your organization? It can be something very simple, just starting off, or more elaborate if you have the skill set to make that. A means of contact. Do you want a website? Are you just going to use your Facebook page, Instagram, etc. for your customers to be able to contact you? Insurance. You have to have insurance if you want to be taking gigs and be safe and covered. Booking contract and booking system. I use a contract that I send over and then a booking form via Google Form. One of the final pieces to think of on the business side is the rates. How much do you want to charge? You need to do some research around what other local face painters are charging to base or to gauge where you should put your pricing at. You won't always charge exactly what you find for other face painters charging because you're just starting out, but it should give you a starting off point to help you determine what rate is going to make the most sense for you. The rates can also be broken out by pay per face or hourly events. You may have add-on services that you want to add in as well that might require an additional X amount of money per hour to add an additional service. Those things should all be decided before even launching your face painting business or creating your contract. Now, let's take a quick look at the contract I use and the booking form I use. You can see here, this is my face painting contract. It has my logo at the top, my contact information. On the first page, it provides all of the information about my different rates and offerings that I put out there. And then it talks about my booking policies, cancellation policies, inclement weather, etc. This contract was based off of what I've seen other face painters do and also things that are tailored specifically to me. Now we can take a look at my booking form that I send along with my contract. I use this via Google Forms. It asks things such as the client name or venue, the date and time they're wanting to book me for, if it's inside or outside, if they consent to the contract electronically that I had already sent them. This seems to work well. I can export it if I would like, and it retains all my responses unless I choose to delete them. Now that we have considered the business side of face painting, we should look at the art side of face painting. Some things to consider before taking your first gig is to determine what type of designs you would like to offer. I would recommend just starting out to look at 4 or 5 popular designs that you could offer for boys or girls or both and practice those specifically until you have a certain comfort level surrounding them. What type of paint you would like to use to face paint with. There are so many great face paint brands on the market right now. They all vary just slightly, and you may like something better than what someone else likes, and that is completely fine. Some face paint brands that I use are Tag, Diamond FX, Fusion, Silly Farms, etc. You also need to decide what type of brushes to use. You will use different brushes for different purposes in your design. You will need a flat brush for your one strokes, round brushes for teardrops, filbert brushes, petal brushes. You will have to just find the brand that you like, and having a good brush does wonders for face painting. In addition to brushes, you will also want to get sponges. Sponges should be used one per child for sanitary reasons. You will want to get some petal sponges, some round sponges that you can cut in half, and also some finger dauber sponges that you can use on your stencils. I also like to use the lollipop sponges for my star blends. You will also need to decide how you want to store your face paint. There are a ton of different options such as craft and goes, kitchen camping tables, DJ Hero cases. Um, the options are endless, but just starting out, don't feel like you have to spend a lot of money on a case. When I was first starting out, I just used a large toolbox, and as I expanded my business, I invested more in a case at that point. Lastly, it is just to practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the better you will get, and the more pleased your customers will be with the work that you've done. I wanted to end this video with a few helpful tips to take with you as well. When you have done all of the things we have already mentioned, how do you book your first gig? What I personally did was I reached out to local parks and recreation departments, local pumpkin patches, local mom groups, and I introduced myself, not expecting a gig out of it, but just letting them know that I was new to the area and sent them some examples of my work. So if the need did arise, I might come to mind. Another thing to keep in mind is to take your time. Focus on that quality first, and the speed will come with it. A lot of face painters just starting out feel a lot of pressure to go fast to meet the needs of the customer, or also to try to live up to how fast other face painters might paint. A lot of us have spent years painting, and the speed came with that time. So don't worry about taking your time, getting your designs down, practicing at home, and then going out and taking a job. Lastly is to have fun. That's what face painting is all about. It's about making the kids happy, making yourself happy, and all of you having a good time while you're doing it. I hope that you found this helpful and it's given you some ideas on the next steps to take to start a successful face painting business.